Hello and welcome to Sports Update. I'm Braden Parks, and today we'll be taking a look at the latest sports news from around the country.
We'll also take a look at the latest updates from your Evangel Crusader sports teams as well. I'm Victoria Guerra, and this is Sports Update on EUTV.
We had some great games on this homecoming weekend between the football team and the soccer teams and the volleyball teams. Why don't we take a look at a few?
Yeah, we definitely did. I thought for homecoming it was a great time, and football, they did well. So why don't you go ahead and tell us about how they did?
Crusader football recorded their second shutout of the year in front of the homecoming crowd on Saturday. The Crusaders defeated Graceland Yellow Jackets to improve the record to 5-1. Both the defense and the offense were firing on all cylinders Saturday. Graceland's first play of the game was intercepted by Jacob Eaton, setting up the first of many Crusader touchdowns. Cameron Hardesty threw for 4 touchdowns and 187 yards. Jansen Ackland and Sam Buckner caught 2 touchdowns each, while Dylan Decker recorded 2 rushing touchdowns. Final score, 65-0 Evangel.
Crusader men's soccer hosted Culver Stockton for their senior night on Friday. It was a scoreless in regulation with several chances for both teams to score, but they were unable to as the game went into double overtime, and unfortunately, the Crusaders were not able to cash in on any of their 10 shots, 8 of which were on goal. 3 minutes into the second overtime, Joaquin Cardog of Culver Stockton scores off a corner kick, and senior Josiah Dinwiddie stayed at goal the entire game, having 14 saves in the game. Final score, 1-0 Culver Stockton.
The Lady Crusaders secure another conference victory with their win over the Culver Stockton Wildcats Friday night. Evangel struck first at the 3-minute mark, but the Wildcats quickly answered with a goal of their own at the 12-minute mark. The tie would hold until Crusader Allison Reynolds scored just before halftime. The Lady Crusaders held their lead through an action-packed second half, beating the Wildcats 2-1.
The Lady Crusaders went 3-0 in Hart Conference play against Missouri Valley. Victoria Lowry led the team with 12 kills, and Victoria Fishback had 19 assists. On the defensive side, Gabby Massingle was able to have 5 blocks. Crusaders started the third set slowly, but were able to finish it up and take the away win. Up next, they will face William Woods at the Ashcroft Center on the 8th. The first serve is at 7 p.m. Well, like I said, for homecoming, that was interesting to see those teams play, and it was good for volleyball to be able to get that away win. Unfortunately, they weren't here for homecoming, but they did good, and they were able to get those in 3 sets, in and out, just like that.
Very efficient. And of course, the 65-0 win is incredible in front of the alumni and all the students that were there Saturday for homecoming.
Definitely, defense. Both sides of the ball was playing good, especially the defense, of course. So I'm excited to see kind of what else they'll be bringing as well. And I think we've got somebody coming up, right?
Yep, up next we will be interviewing a member of Evangel Crusader football, Miles Williams.
We'll be right back.
Maybe I have with that?
Oh, thank you. Did you see anyone's broccoli?
You moved there?
Thanks for helping us.
No problem.
You're welcome.
We'd do anything for kids. Yet 1 in 6 children in the U.S. struggle with hunger. Help end childhood hunger near you. Learn how at feedingamerica.org.
The world is waiting for you to make an impact in the career field God has called you to. He has equipped you with the creativity, skills, and talents you need to be successful. And at Evangel, you'll be empowered with a dynamic education and a spirit-led community that will help turn His design into your life's calling for global ministry in every vocation. Unleash your potential. Visit us today.
after the 65-0 homecoming win, I'm here with defensive lineman Miles Williams. Thank you, Miles, for being with us today.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you for having me.
So this is your senior year.
Yeah.
You've been playing football for a while then?
Right. Yeah, I've been playing football. Actually, I was a baseball player at first, but then I kept playing football in and out with baseball, and I transitioned to full-time baseball. I mean, to full-time football, like about middle school, 9th grade, high school. So yeah.
So at what point did you start playing football then?
Well, I was playing football on and off. I mean, it was like when I started like 4, but I've stopped for a while and played baseball. So I've been playing football and baseball about since I was 4 years old. So yeah, I've been playing for a little while.
So defensive line, have you always been in that position, or what other positions have you been playing?
No, actually, it's a funny story. Going into my senior year of high school, we have something called spring ball. So we do football in the spring, but we don't play any games or anything. We just practice. And going into that week, coach asked me. He said, "Hey, you know, we don't have anybody at the at this specific spot on the defensive line. You know, will you be willing to help me and move from offensive line to defensive line?" And at first I was skeptical about it, but I mean, I had an okay year my senior year, and which led eventually for me to be here. So it was kind of a blessing and a curse, kind of a little bit, yeah. But it was good though.
So which position do you play on the defensive line?
I play, so we have defensive tackle. We have 2 defensive tackle spots, and we have defensive end spots, and I play one of those defensive tackle spots.
Great.
So yeah.
So this homecoming game, which showed overall great offense, great defense.
Right.
How do you think that your performance contributed to that 65-0 win?
Actually, I would say this is one of my worst games of the year statistically. But I mean, ultimately, like we were clicking on all cylinders on defense. Obviously, clicking on all cylinders on offense. So when you win 65-0, I really don't care about my personal performance, honestly. So, but no, though, it was great to see that.
So what was the preparation like for that game?
Well, after coming off last week's controversial loss to Grandview, I feel like everybody just had a chip on their shoulder. We always play on a chip on our shoulder because we feel like we don't get the respect that we deserve. But after that loss, I feel like our week of preparation was like none other because of the fact that we know we got, the short end of the stick on that. So it was just to prove not only to ourselves, but prove to everybody else that we really are one of the best teams in the country. So.
And we've been rated one of the best teams, at least defensively, for the last few years. Besides the chip on the shoulder, what else do you think contributes to that?
Just a whole bunch of guys that bought into the program. So, I mean, like you said, I'm a senior. I've been here for 4 years. When I first got here, things weren't like this. When we got down in games, everybody quit. Everybody didn't want to play anymore. So just a change of the culture, a change of our mindset has brought us to, this chip on our shoulder that we don't get the respect that we deserve. Let's show everybody who really Evangel is. So, yeah, definitely that culture change.
So heading into conference play now, at this point in the season, what's the mindset looking like for that?
Mindset is just go 1-0 every week. Just go 1-0 every week. Do what we need to do to be 1-0. If that's waking up at 6 a.m. going to weights, if that's, running after practice, if that's, performing, practicing perfect, just doing the things we need to do to go 1-0 every week. So that's the mindset right now. That's the mindset in the locker room. That's the mindset in the weight room. That's the mindset on the practice field. Just go 1-0 every week and do what you got to do. So.
And so number 2 Benedictine comes to town this Saturday. What can we expect from that game?
It's going to be a well-fought game. It's going to be a well-played game from some of the best teams in the country. Actually, Benedictine just came off a loss to the same team we lost to. They lost by 20. But, I mean, you should be expecting, a long-fought battle between 2 heavyweight teams in the country. So it should be fun to watch.
So what are some of the goals that the team has for the rest of the year?
Some of the goals that we have, as the team, is just to, go through some perseverance like we have all year. Just persevere through the whole season. I mean, we've dealt with injuries. We've dealt with, off the field things with the things like the last week during the game against Grandview. Just so we're going to persevere the rest of the way. Like I said earlier, do the best we can to go 1-0 every week, and just continue to do what this team is destined to do.
Great, thank you.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, thanks for coming on the show today.
Thank you.
Coming up, we'll be taking a look at some of the top stories in college and professional sports from around the country. Stay tuned.
Open up your books to page 360.
Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
Talking about inspirational quotes.
You gotta believe in yourself.
Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at getschool.com.
Catch all the HD broadcasts of Evangel Sports on EUTV through livestream.com. EUTV features weekly programs like Sports Update and Newswatch Today. You can also see award-winning student films from Evangel filmmakers. Evangel University Television broadcasts to Evangel dorms on channels 12 and 35-1. You can also find EUTV on Mediacom Channel 84 in Springfield. And now, EUTV is on livestream.com, broadcasting on the web 24 hours a day. So check it out. Go to livestream.com, enter EUTV in the search box, and click on the EU icon. EUTV, the home of edutainment.
You can't keep true faith inside a church. You can't confine it to a few hours, days, or weeks. You can't share it with some people and hide it from others. You can't leave it on the side of the road to come back for it when you think you will need it later. True faith will shine through in everything you do, wherever you are, and everything you do will improve because of it, because everything we do grows out of it. Evangel University.
The world is waiting for you to make an impact in the career field God has called you to. He has equipped you with the creativity, skills, and talents you need to be successful. And at Evangel, you'll be empowered with a dynamic education and a spirit-led community that will help turn His design into your life's calling for global ministry in every vocation. Unleash your potential. Visit us today.
Postseason play has begun for Major League Baseball. The Yankees hosted the Twins for Game 2 in the series. Yankees pitcher Masaru Tanaka had 7 strikeouts, and shortstop Didi Gregorius' grand slam in the bottom of the third ensures the Yankees win. Who would have thought that Gregorius, who missed the first 2 months of the season as he had Thomas John surgery on his elbow, would be hitting a grand slam in postseason? Final score 8-2. The Yankees will travel to Minnesota, where they will only need 1 win to play in the division championship. On the national side, the Cardinals lost to the Braves 3-1 and look to get back into action, trying to stay alive.
On Saturday, the unranked Cincinnati Bearcats upset the 18th-ranked UFC Knights. Bearcats' defense was able to dismantle quarterback Dillon Gabriel and the Knights, only allowing 24 points. Previously, UCF had gone 31 consecutive games, scoring at least 30 points. The Bearcats quarterback threw for just 2 touchdowns. The remainder of the points came from Cincinnati, excellent rushing by Michael Warren II, and superb defensive plays. This is the first ranked team that Cincinnati has defeated in 10 years. The Bearcats win 27-24. The Houston Texans rise to 3-2 with their victory over the now 1-4 Atlanta Falcons. While the Falcons' defense concentrated their efforts on DeAndre Hopkins, wide receiver Will Fuller caught for 3 touchdowns and a career-high 217 yards. Quarterback Deshaun Watson threw for a career-high 5 touchdowns and 426 yards while throwing 0 interceptions. Falcons quarterback Matt Ryan threw for 330 yards and 3 touchdowns. While the Falcons came within 1 score multiple times throughout the game, Watson and Fuller kept the Texans 2 steps ahead, winning in Houston 53-32.
Well, every team's perfect record has to come to an end, and that has come for the Kansas City Chiefs. Mahomes and Chiefs started off the game by receiving the ball and driving 64 yards only to score a 29-yard field goal. Then the Colts took advantage early in the game, taking the ball down the field, and Brissett runs the ball into the end zone himself on a 2nd and goal play. Mahomes then responded with a 27-yard pass by Byron Pringle as Mahomes escapes the pocket and throws on a 3rd and 18, having Pringle score. Indianapolis ties it back up with 11 minutes in the half, And right before halftime, Mahomes was limping but remained in the game and came back in the second half with his ankle wrapped. The Colts defense, although shorthanded, kept the Chiefs and Mahomes scrambling in the pocket. Former Chiefs defensive end Justin Houston and the line pressured Kansas City. Marlon Mack of the Colts had 29 carries for 132 yards, and at the end of the day, penalties and short possessions of the ball played another factor in the Chiefs' first loss of the season. Final score, 19-13 Colts. Well, it's a little unfortunate that the Kansas City Chiefs got that loss. You know, as a fan myself, it was kind of heartbreaking to see, but like I said, every team is going to have that first loss and kind of get through it.
And with the injuries that we had, and then Patrick Mahomes also on 2 sprained ankles, it was tough to kind of get that momentum that we're used to seeing and that explosive play from Patrick Mahomes.
Definitely, I could tell after that first injury, he was kind of, I don't know if it was just, he was getting ready to go into halftime, and his mentality was just a little shifted after that injury. So we'll hope for a speedy recovery, and I don't think it'll affect, hopefully, him in the next game as well.
Hopefully not, hopefully not. Well, why don't we check out what's going up next for Crusader Sports. Football will play Benedictine Saturday, October 19th here at Tiger Stadium at 11 a.m.
Then we have volleyball playing against William Woods in non-conference play on Tuesday, October 8th at 7 p.m. here at the Ashcroft Center. And then they'll be playing Clark Friday, October 11th in Iowa with this first serve at 7 p.m. and Mount Mercy Saturday, again in Iowa with this first serve at 12 p.m.
Men's soccer will face Missouri Valley Tuesday, October 8th at 7:30 p.m. and Grandview Saturday, October 12th in Des Moines, Iowa.
Women's soccer looks a little bit the same. We've got Missouri Valley coming up on Tuesday, October 8th with kickoff at 5 o'clock in Marshall, Missouri. And then we have Grandview Saturday, October 12th at 1 p.m. in Des Moines, Iowa.
Cross country will be running at the Gary Stoner Invitational Saturday, October 12th in Fayetteville, Missouri.
And then we've got a little bit of baseball coming up as well. They're going to have a game preseason against North Arkansas College October 8th, and that's going to be in Harrison, Arkansas.
Well, it's a very busy week we have coming up for our Crusader athletics, except for the bye week that we have this weekend for football.
Definitely, and you know, we've got that bye week for football, so they'll kind of be able to rest up and get going, get that momentum for the rest of the season. And then for volleyball, they just had that exciting win, and so it's kind of, we're going to see if, you know, that'll be continuing on into some more games. Exactly.
And the women's soccer team has been doing very well, currently on a 7-game winning streak. So it's exciting to see how that will play out in conference play.
Oh yeah, for sure. I know they'll be definitely excited if they can get into that post play as well.
Well, that is all the time we have today for Sports Update. I'm Braden Parks.
And I'm Victoria Guerra. Be sure to join us next week as we bring you the latest in sports news. This has been Sports Update on EUTV.